Love right now. 'Tis the season to put a smile on a child's face.
It's the Marine Corps Toys for Tots Drive, and News 12 is proud to be an official drop-off location.
Drop off a new unwrapped toy at our studios during normal business hours.
Make a child's holiday brighter with News 12 and Toys for Tots.
If your house is beginning to on Ramjet. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Well, don't put your coat up just yet. We've got a cold front on the way. Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale timing all that out for us coming up. But first, a fire last night in the heart of downtown Augusta. Water and fire and smoke all contributing to the damage there. This is on Jones Street, right between Broad and Reynolds.
The building is still standing, but the damage is extensive. But as Will Rio shows us, one business is not letting this fire stop their dream.
Screeching sirens echoed across downtown Augusta as fire crews scrambled to douse the flames pouring out of a business on Jones Street.
We just got a call saying that there was a fire. We rushed down here, and of course everything was, already kind of put out, but it was definitely wild.
The damage has come to light. Charred windows and glass painting the sidewalk outside Naya's Antiques and Flowers, where Shania Arthur is a co-owner.
When I first showed up, I was really nervous because I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what things were going to look like. I was really emotional.
Their floral business sits right beneath where firefighters dumped gallons of water on that fire.
So today we're just going to pretty much just clean up the parts that are, kind of really watery. We're not going to try to work in those areas.
Luckily, she says, there was no major damage, and they'll continue to prep for the upcoming holiday.
We are going to be closed to the public, but we're definitely going to be open for business. We're still going to go full force and do what we're supposed to do, so that way we can get our orders out and, make sure we have a good holiday season.
In Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
Once you see that building in the light of day, you realize exactly where that is. It's a very popular spot downtown. The Augusta Fire Department was out there again today taking pictures of the scene as they begin the process of finding the cause.
And we wish those businesses luck as they try to rebuild and relocate, but just a bummer this time of year during the busy season. Turning to weather now as we look over the skies in Grovetown and Raleigh, you say we have
have a look at that little bit colder outlook the next couple of days in just about 10 minutes.
The escaped Bibb County inmate captured here in Augusta is pleading not guilty to escaping custody. Back in October, authorities say 37-year-old Jonathan Barnwell and 3 other inmates escaped from a detention center in Macon through a damaged window. Jailers say they had a getaway car waiting for them. Now he's awaiting sentencing on previous drug distribution charges. He faces up to life in prison for those and another possible 5 years for the escape. Also new tonight, Augusta Fire says they were on the scene of a house fire on Cornell Drive this afternoon around 3:30. You can see some photos of the charred remains. They posted these to their Facebook page, but after they put out the fire, they searched the home and they did find one dog didn't make it. Fortunately, no other injuries were reported, but a serious fire over there on Cornell.
Also new at 6 o'clock, Augusta City leaders have scrapped plans for that internal audit. These audit talks first came into play back in April when leaders found out the city faced $2 million in IRS penalties for not properly filing paperwork related to the Affordable Care Act. So why did leaders change their minds? Craig Allison live in our newsroom with the breakdown.
It's all about the money. It's plain and simple. It took commissioners an extra 2 weeks than expected to cut the budget down by 1%, and the idea of taking hundreds of thousands of tax dollars into a multiple-year deal was too big an ask. They ultimately said no to $295,000 for the first year, and the deal left the potential open for a third-party audit group, UHY, to continue their investigation over multiple years. The scope would check into at least 35 departments, which they say could take more than a year to complete. So what worried commissioners was that an initial $300,000 to $400,000 audit could turn into nearly $1 million if the investigation went into its third or fourth year. I caught up with Commissioner Catherine Smith-McKnight, who first pushed for the audit to happen.
I'm lucky to get this operational internal audit. We voted on it pretty much unanimously. We might have had 2 people that didn't support it, and that was several months ago. But here we are today, and we have a few commissioners who just don't want to see it done. That bothers me. It bothers me.
They're going to come back again to see if there's a cheaper way to get this done, but for now, this has been kicked to next year.
All right, certainly frustrating for some commissioners there. Thanks for the update from our newsroom tonight, Craig.
City leaders also approved and adopted their budget for next year after multiple conversations around the future $4 to $5 million shortfall that interim city administrator Takia Dow says will hit next year's budget. Commissioners asked for a 1% cut across all departments to save money. Commissioners say this will help make financial room for a new jail pod at the overcrowded Webster Detention Center. Even with the cut, this is the largest budget ever approved for the city of Augusta.
New research shows a lot of people will be cutting back on the gifts this year or even skipping Christmas altogether. Wallet Hub's holiday shopping survey says 1 in 3 people are foregoing gift giving this year. 1 in 4 still have holiday debt left over from last year. Worst of all, nearly half of all Americans say their charitable giving is being impacted by inflation. As Taylor Martin shows us, gift-giving organizations across the two-state are feeling it.
Each year, families in our area depend on local organizations like the Empty Stocking Fund and Toys for Tots to make Christmas happen for thousands of children across our area. And for many of these organizations, it's the highest need they've seen in years. Donations and volunteers, it's what puts presents under the tree for many families.
This has got to be what the North Pole is like. A lot of activity, running around and trying to keep up with things, but it's a lot of fun.
This year, the Empty Stocking Fund is giving away toys to 1,300 children. The Salvation Army is serving 1,560 with Angel Tree, and Toys for Tots is serving 1,299 in Augusta and 2,000 in Aiken.
We had to close down the application early due to lack of funding, so the need far surpasses what we are able to fulfill today.
Funding and donations are exactly what these organizations need. It's the most critical part of everything they do.
We are only limited by the funds we receive. So for $35, someone can support one child to give them about $100 worth of Christmas gifts. So it's a really efficient way to give to make sure that more kids in our community have the gifts that they want.
So no child goes without gifts on Christmas morning.
You see folks on the street say Merry Christmas, but when you say Merry Christmas and putting a bag of toys in the trunk as well, can't beat that.
If you'd like to help fill bags just like these with toys for children this year, we'll have more ways for you to donate on our website, wrdw.com. Reporting in Augusta, Taylor Martin on Northside.
So a challenging year, but our local volunteers always seem to come through. Taylor, thanks.
Heads up for Aiken County parents, tonight is the first feedback session on the district's next superintendent. You have several sessions to choose from. Tonight's 2 meetings will be at North Augusta and Silver Bluff High Schools at 7. If you can't catch those, tomorrow is your last chance. Those 2 meetings will be at Wagner Sally High or the district office's boardroom. Those meetings will start around 7 o'clock as well. A famous Christmas story coming to life in Harlem. We'll show you how you can be a part of it for free.
And we are expecting temperatures to drop over the next couple of days, but staying nice and dry. We'll have the full forecast next.
Time and temp.
Tomorrow and Thursday, cloud cover and warmer temps show up Friday into Saturday. And once again, tracking that rainfall by Sunday.
Okay, thanks, Riley. A classic Christmas poem coming to life in Harlem. Scattered across town, you can find the pages of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
But to read the whole thing, you have to look closely. Well, Volk has some clues.
'Twas the night before Christmas. Well, not yet, but you can read the story here in downtown Harlem.
What we've done is we put pages from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas in different storefronts, and you can read the book while you walk down the streets with your children or just yourself.
Harlem Mayor Roxanne Whitaker created a literacy council a couple months ago. This storybook walk is one of their first ideas. She says she sent an email about it to Harlem's businesses.
There was no having to beg or anything. The minute the email went out, I started getting responses, so I knew we had enough. I was worried we weren't going to have enough pages with all the businesses responding.
Now there are 21 different stops with different pages posted in their windows. Whitaker hopes this helps businesses too.
We hope that while you're reading the book, you'll peek and see what's inside each of our businesses.
Sina Trotman took the walk with her 2 boys.
And it was great fun for them. They're just beginning to read, so it was a good exercise to get them to read, and we had fun just going all over downtown Harlem.
She's proud of them for making it all the way.
I also promised them ice cream afterwards, so there was additional motivation there.
In Harlem, we'll vote on your side.
Ice cream, the great motivator.
Oh, yeah, and to all a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the storybook walk does continue until Christmas. You can do it for free. You just start at the Harlem Pharmacy and Gifts, and then you follow the numbers in order.
Sounds like fun.
A local photographer trying to find the couple in this photo. The other day, Heather Reidner was walking the Uchee Creek Trail with her family when she ran across a couple. She saw them holding hands and thought it was a great heartwarming moment. She snapped this shot, but she never had a chance to catch up with them to give them the photo. So now she's hoping the photo can get back to them so they can have a long-lasting memory of that sweet moment.
I wish that somebody would have been there to take pictures of my grandparents. My grandma recently passed away, and I wish I had memories like that with her. That, you know, it's one of those things like you wish you could take a photo of what you see. You know, I wish I would have thought to take pictures of my grandparents like that.
So hopefully this message will find a way to the couple, and Heather posted it on Facebook. So if you happen to know who they are, you can reach out to her there to help connect them to that sweet moment.
Love that. Great shot there. You know, the best girls flag football teams around the state of Georgia are all taking the field tonight. We're going to have live coverage coming up from Greenbrier. All ahead next in sports.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group. Now,
breaking news, we're now getting a first look at the suspects arrested in the crime bust in Rennes. 15 people are facing charges after a Jefferson County grand jury indicted 20 people on aggravated assault, weapon, and gang charges. These are photos of 14 of the suspects. The last one we're going to show you right here is a juvenile, not pictured. Some of the people charged in the investigation are as young as 15 years old. The oldest is 28, and this is the video that sparked that investigation. Investigators say even more arrests are expected.
on your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
The GHSA Girls Flag Football State Tournament is underway, and 4 of our local Columbia County teams are on the gridiron tonight, including the Greenbrier Lady Wolfpack, who are just 4 wins away from getting to go to the Benz. News 12's Alyssa Lyons joins us from Greenbrier High School, where the Lady Wolfpack seem to be in a good position to take care of business tonight.
Dan, you can go ahead and cross out 4 and make it 3 because they are cruising into the second round. They just knocked off Miller Grove 39-0. Now that puts them 300 points above any point opponent against them this season, which is pretty insane. They've cruised all season long. For the first time this playoff round, they've actually had 2 weeks of a break in between that district or that area championship and tonight. So they had all the time to put in the work they needed in order to succeed tonight. It didn't take long for the Lady Pack to get cooking. Presley McDermott had 2 interceptions in the first half. There was number 1, a setup to the Pack's first touchdown of the night. 2 pick sixes. Here's number 1, and the Pack keeps climbing. They'll now face the winner of Paulding and Walnut Grove. We know they have experience this time around. They actually made it to the semifinals in 2020 and 2021. That game still has a while to go. We have to still play the second half. There are about 8 minutes left in the second quarter. So once we find out who they play, they'll kick off tonight at 7 p.m.
Well, thank you, Alyssa. And when it comes down to all the action on the gridiron tonight, we're going to have the latest on Greenbrier, Evans, Lakeside, and Grovetown's girls flag football teams tonight at 11. The city of Augusta is recognizing the Westminster Wildcats 8-man football team for winning their 2nd straight championship in the last 5 years, leaving no doubt on the field. Now, Westminster defeated Windsor Academy 35-14, capping off a season for the record books. In addition to all of their success as a team, 6 of Westminster's players were named All-Region. 5 of them made the All-State team, including quarterback Levi Murphy, who is the GIAA 8-man football player of the year. On top of all of that, head coach Chris Murphy has been named the coach of the year.
When we started the season, we knew it was a special season, but I never envisioned anything like this. So this is all new to us, and so we're just glad to be a part of it and to be recognized.
It really speaks to the guys I had around me because I had great receivers, and if they don't catch the ball, none of that happens. No touchdown passes, or if my O-line's not blocking well, we can't pull any of that off. So it's a team effort.
That special connection between father and son propelled Westminster to a historic season. The Wildcats say they're hoping to run it back next year to bring another state title back home to Augusta.
All right, good stuff there, Dan. Definitely a big congratulations to Westminster there on the state title. We are looking at a windy Wednesday up ahead. We're going to see that northwest wind steady between 15, 18 miles an hour, but gusting over 20 at times. Having a look at that 7-day forecast just after the break.
We are excited to announce that the Medicare Specialist is now the 64 Insurance Group. And while we've expanded our portfolio to include other health insurance products, we are still your go-to for all things Medicare. Don't wait until you're 65 to call. Are64.com.
Each year, thousands of children pass through the doors of Children's Hospital of Georgia needing help only they can provide.
And each year, Children's Hospital treats every child regardless of the family's ability to pay.
It's a daunting task they can't do without your help.
Join iHeartMedia Augusta, News 12 for the 23rd Annual Cares for Kids Radiothon, December 7th through the 9th.
It's 3 days of healing, hope, and raising funds to provide the best care for our children.
Just head to caresforkidsradiothon.com.
Help us make miracles happen.
We've got a lot of news to cover tonight. 2 years after our reporting on how the military handles domestic violence, the Pentagon promised to help. In our CBS News investigation, survivors say they're still waiting for justice. That's tonight right here on the CBS Evening News.
Welcome back. Here's a live look outside of our building, looking at Riverwatch I-20. Traffic issues non-existent at the moment, so if you're crossing the state line, smooth sailing there. We have generally clear skies, and we have a great opportunity to check out the space station later tonight. This is going to be flying overhead starting at 6:30, so we're just about 3.5 minutes away from that. It's going to last about 6 minutes and reach a max height of about 88 degrees, so that puts it pretty much directly overhead by the time it reaches that max height. So a good opportunity for everyone in the CS area to see that later tonight. We do have temperatures going to fall to near 40 by daybreak tomorrow morning, so you'll need that jacket heading out to the bus stop. Tomorrow afternoon, not going to be quite as warm as what we've seen over the past couple of days. Most likely seeing those highs remain in the 50s over the next couple of afternoons. Also going to be a little bit windy out there Wednesday, and then the wind will calm down Thursday. A few clouds show up heading into the weekend, then that chance for rain back by Sunday.
Always amazing to watch the space station fly overhead. That's going to wrap things up for News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Then we're back for more news at 11. We'll see you then. At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.